I feel baptized in the river, you know?
Yeah, literally have it at my Good morning, welcome to Subtle Takes, where we take you fishing with us all across the beautiful state of Colorado. Actually, this week, we're not in Colorado, we're in New Mexico. This is the first time I've crossed over the border in New Mexico and fished in my life. We're at the San Juan River at the base of Navajo Dam. We're going to be here for about 3 days, and so we're going to kind of fish for 3 days straight here, and we'll show some video of it and kind of see how we do. We really don't know much about this river other than really tiny flies and really big fish. Sounds to me like it's mostly midge fishing. It's a tailwater that acts like this big spring creek, and just tons of bug life in here, and the fish get humongous. So we're hoping to even get some dry fly action today. So tiny bugs, big fish, that's the name of the game. I'm here today, we're staying at Abe's, and I'm with my great friend here, Mr. James Olson, and we are going to be floating this river in our one-man pontoon boats, which we do a couple times a year, usually on the Bighorn. This year we're going to try the San Juan. Ready to head out?
Chubby Rubby.
All right, so thanks for joining us. We'll see you out there on the water.
Just half a mile, take a sharp left turn onto Highway 511.
So the San Juan River, other takeaways, it's one of the most technical rivers I've ever fished. It doesn't mean you can't get the fish to eat. We've caught tons of fish, but the learning curve, you've got to get to a place where you're comfortable fishing very small flies, very light tippet, and you got to have a perfect drift. They just don't chase very much. They're very active, and the other thing is they have so much food. The biomass here is incredible. Midges, you pull a stick up and there'll just be thousands of midge larvae all over it, and they have so much to choose from. If your fly isn't a pretty good imitation, you're not drifting it pretty well, you're not going to get eaten. And then even then, there's so many bugs to choose from, it's an odds game. So but really, to me, it's like math. The more good casts you can make, the more fish that you'll catch. And a good cast means the right fly, the right depth, the right weight, the right speed, the right drift. You got to make a lot of those. That's pretty difficult. So if you come down here, kind of be expecting that you're going to catch fish. You're going to catch a big fish, but just understand that you might be able to take the things that you use on your river and apply them to here. It might be a great place to hire a guide, to be honest with you. I'm not going to promote any fly shop, but dude, they're all great down here. I've seen nothing but happy faces and very nice people. So I'd get a guide that'll really help you out, and be prepared to spend a little bit of money on flies. It's worth it. They catch fish. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about our rig here that we're using on the San Juan. This is the way that we fished it. Obviously, this is our first time here, but this is what we've picked up by kind of watching some of the guides at work, and also asking some people that fish up here a lot So I'm using a 1/2-inch white indicator. I don't know that the white has anything to do with it. James has been using one that's had color on it, and he's picking up just as many fish. But the small indicator helps you to detect the strikes because they're pretty subtle strikes. And we're only running about 4 feet, maybe 3.5 feet is all, to a number 4 split shot. And then we've got about 12 to 16 inches onto a rock worm. And mine, you can see, has gotten mangled there a little bit, so I'm gonna have to retie that one on. And that's a size 18 rock worm, and this is all 6X down to, and here's the clincher, a size 26 foam back midge emerger. I don't even know if you can see that or not. And unfortunately, this is what we're hooking up most of the fish on right here. And when you're pulling in a 5-pound trout on that on 6X, you're shaking every single time because you're not sure you're going to be able to get in. So that's kind of the rig we're using up here. We've used some other flies, but this has been the most productive thing for us. So not saying that's what everybody uses, but this is how we've been picking up fish. I think it's a pretty standard rig up here. All right, we're going to get back on the water. That was one of the greatest fly fishing trips I've ever taken in my life. I can't believe that after all these years, it's the first time I've ever been to the San Juan River. I'm kind of embarrassed to say it, but you know, I'm a very Colorado loyal person, but I have to tip my hat here. This is a very special place to fish. It's somewhat techie, and then it's kind of not at the same time. If you're a tailwater fisherman, you'll love it. If you come from places that aren't, I would definitely say get a guide. Getting a guide will increase your learning curve quickly, and you'll be on fish. The most impressive thing for me was that even though it took us a little while to kind of get in tune with things, once we started catching fish, every single fish was between 18 and 22 inches, and that's not an exaggeration. Every single one was. And after a while, you started kind of blowing off the 16-inch fish as like going, oh wow, that's all, and that's sick. So fish quality is top notch, especially in the first about 2 miles of the river. It does tend to slowly, after a while, kind of decline a little bit, but still, even then, very, very good fishing. And again, once you can get your rig set up and you get kind of in tune to the water, you can catch fish. We've seen a lot of people catching fish out here. Again, recommend a guide here, especially if you're from places that don't have a lot of tailwaters, or from the west. Get one, you'll like it. And all the guides out here were really cool. So yeah, that was kind of our trip here. James?
Oh, I love the afternoon rises. Afternoon rises are what it's all about out in the San Juan. Waiting for that perfect midge hatch, and rainbows just coming up all around you. You'll find me back here every year from here on out.
And as we sit here closing here, we See fish still rising here in the upper flats just below the dam. So get out here. Thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and our website at subtletakes.com. A couple things I want to start saying here. First of all, I promote catch and release fishing. Please catch and release unless they are special circumstances. A lot of our trout fisheries are kind of hurting, and catch and release works. And the second thing is pinch your barbs. Pinch your barbs down. And that's not just for the fish, it's also for yourself, your buddy, anyone you might hook. Just two little public service announcements there, all right? Hey, thanks for tuning in here. We had a blast over the last 3 days. Hope you enjoyed some of the footage here, and we'll see you next time on the water.